Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
Leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please,
what
God
happened?
bless you, but
What
please leave me
happened?
alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved.
Just leave me.
Can you imagine having to scream like that constantly? Leave me alone, leave me alone, get away from me, stay away from me, go away, leave me alone. This is Cynthia Ortiz. I have to just do it every day. Mr. Perry will not leave me the fuck alone. So today, because he wouldn't leave me alone, here's what they said. You're not to invade her privacy again. Cynthia's privacy is not to be invaded anymore. They said it in March 2020. They said it again in July 2022. And we have gotten so much more because he has no idea what that means. You're not to contact her or her family, directly or indirectly, in any form at all. She's not to be broke ever again. You owe her a lot of money. You've put her through hell. You stole it. You took it. And so, Calvin is behind a lot of that. Calvin, everybody hates you about that, Calvin, because of what you're putting me through and everybody else through. You and Charles and Lucius and Houston, fat realtor guy. I guess you're fat too. What do you know? So, today, Mr. Perry asked me, is it a senator helping you? Call the senators and ask them not to stop your crime. And say what you always say. We'll make it worth your while. I've heard it. I've heard you say it on a bazillion police recordings, Mr. Perry. It is illegal to coerce. And you're about to go to jail. All of you. I don't know what day they're going to pull the plug and arrest you. But if there's police telling me what you just said, and you have to ask, is a senator helping you? Is it El Paso PD? Is it Oklahoma City PD? Is it LA PD? Is it New York PD? Then that's an admission of guilt. You just want to know who told on you. He's asked me who his leaks are every day. For years. Have I ever helped you? Why the hell would I do that? We all want you gone. Everybody's sick of you. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. So I have gone without food and shelter for months. 4 months. Skin was fucking hanging off me. Okay, then I went, I went back to dancing. And I made a little bit of money dancing, and I got to finally fucking eat. So I put a little weight on, and I got actually a little chubby, and I didn't care. Before, that would upset me. You have no idea. It was very important for me to be in shape and to not be chubby. And all of a sudden, I'm chubby, and I don't care. It's just better than starving. And, for 6 months, from August until January, they fucking starved me. And I wouldn't lie. I spent Christmas all by myself in my car. Then they took the car. They've been threatening this for years. We got to starve her until she lies. We got to make her take the yellow brick road. Coax her. Coerce her. It is a criminal act. So, here's the thing. If Mr. Perry were hot and sexy and a nice guy, he wouldn't have to do any of that. I would just like him and I'd want to be with him. But that's not the case. He's like this. He's a monster. He's a fucking monster. So they're having to literally, what they've done, and we have a witness that's backed this up, is what they did at the club is they would rent the club out for the night and only let his 5 guys go in there with canned food. Here's your $1 tip. And so I'd walk out with $30 when, I should be walking out with $300 to $600 depending on the night. And at least our guy has an accountant. Our guy has a forensic accountant that went to every strip club I've worked at, anywhere and everywhere, and got what he got. And Charles can deal with that in court. I'm not going to go over it all here. He's going to have to deal with that in his criminal case, what they found. I'll just say, he said by her 3rd year, she should have been making 6 figures. So with her personality, with her stage presence, with her work ethic. A lot of girls don't work. They go in the back, or they'll go outside, or they'll go sit, just sit and talk to one guy that's not buying anything all damn night. So he's keeping an eye on that. And sometimes he would tell the guys that he sent in, buy from everybody but her. We gotta punish her. She didn't do what we wanted. And they've got those recordings, Mr. Perry. You're going to have to deal with it in your criminal case. So I know one night I'm on stage, and this guy, why am I dancing to begin with? I had a political consulting business. The first time I tell his campaign guy, he's fucking almost kissed me in a room full of people. He's fucking, driving up behind my house, watching me in my backyard. People see this. You have to tell him to stop. The response was, you don't want him to ruin your business, do you? I had a speaking engagement ready to go with Sean and Leanne Tui with an organization, and they got all of a sudden canceled it. 2 of them, actually, because Charles found out and he told them not to do business with me, so they didn't. Then after I left town, then he got them a speaking engagement in Lubbock, Sean and Leanne Tui. He's hacked me. He knew what I was doing, so he did that. He called, don't do business with her. So that was when I was in Lubbock. Then I move and I start dancing. If I dance, couple of things we can get out of that. I'm not going to go into all that either. That'll come out in court. But one is, maybe I can make some money and he won't be able to interfere with it. I have a child I'm trying to take care of. Sometimes my child support would get hung up with no explanation. So, the witness says this is what he does. He gets women fired. That he finds women who are divorced with kids, puts cameras in their home when they're not there, starts broadcasting them all over the dark web, and charges watch time and rakes it in while he starves them to death. He gets them fired. He makes sure they don't get another job. They lose the house. Then he has the ex take the kids away, and then he trafficked them. They're on display while they're on the dark web, and they'll find a buyer. And then by this point, they're so destitute, they think they don't have a choice. Most don't know that's what he's doing. I know now. I'm not trafficked yet. He did sell me to a realtor in Houston, took half the money up front, and he's trying to deliver. He wants me to lie. He wants me to sign an affidavit he wrote. He wants me to sign a letter of apology he wrote. And until I do, I'm shit out of luck on making money. I went into Walgreens one night. They're telling me that we don't have enough people working here. I said, I would love to work here. And the lady said, oh, good. Okay, go online and apply. I would go online and apply. It wasn't 24 hours. I get a letter back. You don't qualify. I'm like, you're shitting me. My life is falling apart. I've lost everything I own. And I have a 3.69 GPA, 3.59 or a 3.6 GPA, depending, in college, in my 3rd year. While I'm going through things most people will never have to go through in their entire lives, I'm going through it all at once. So I can work at Walgreens. And I've owned my own business. I can work at Walgreens. I've caught Mr. Perry's crime like nobody in his life has ever done before. I can fucking work at Walgreens. If you can fog a mirror, you can fucking work at Walgreens. And there's kids not even graduated from high school yet that work at Walgreens or Quick Trip or Target. I'm applying and I'm not getting anything back. Well, that's what the witness said he does. That's what he said he does. Then he has some people around me. Get food stamps. We need her on the state's payroll. We need her. Yeah. Nope. I don't think so. I have a belief. There's 2 things I believe that keep me going. One is that charity and welfare and all that stuff is for people who have a mental illness or a mental disability and they cannot work. Or a physical disability. They can't work. And I'm not going to take resources from those people. Because you want to lie. Second of all, it pisses off certain people that all of a sudden we get all kinds of intel every time you cause me a problem. You have no fucking idea. But all of a sudden we get it before you do it, not after. And you don't know how to explain that. You are pissing off people with a shit ton of power. Every time I don't eat. Every time I sleep in my car. Every time I lose something. Every time you cause a problem. And now for Mike too. Michael Neely. a lot of power, more power in their pinky finger tip than all of you guys put together. You don't know. I mean, we're seeing things and doing things you've not seen before. And it's been that way for a decade. You have nothing to show for anything but you're told on. You've gotten nothing out of this but told on. And you do the same thing every day. That provokes that. So I made a decision. It's so much worse for Mike and Lucky's family. And Lisa and John Neely. If I have to go with, I haven't eaten all week. Because we're back to that again. So, I've eaten a little bit of tuna. I've eaten a little bit of cheese. And I've eaten a little bit of oatmeal. And I've eaten a couple of cucumbers. All week long. So we got more. Right? Charles is trying to frame me for a murder. He has been for a while. We've said that over and over and over and over. And I guess somebody told him today, I don't have a motive for this, Charles. There's some fiber matches or something. But you took all her clothes, Charles, from her room when you had her kicked out of the hotel. She's staying in a club. Anybody can get to her clothes and get a fiber. I mean, you're breaking in her house. You can get a fiber. Right? You're typing in my phone. We got your mitochondrial DNA. What do you need that for? And I guess TPD talked to one of my professors. Somebody did. She's not cooperative with police. Yeah, but here's the thing. She looks similar to the real person that did this. Except, you're trying to make Cynthia get a tan so her skin matches this other girl whose skin is darker. You're trying to find out Cynthia's hair color so you can get that girl to color it the same. If you're having to alter evidence, you got the wrong person. You've already excluded Cindy, so she's not being uncooperative. She doesn't trust you. It looks like you're trying to frame her. Yeah, you think? What are you talking to my professors for anyway? So, today, Mr. Perry says, well, she's got a temper. Okay, tell me when and where and who and what. When's this temper been displayed? Because I don't have anybody to tell me she's got a temper. I actually don't. I'll scream and yell at you, just like she's screaming and yelling at him. You've taken everything I own. You're trying to frame me for a murder you know good and well I didn't do. That's going to piss you off. You're trying to ruin my life so you can run for governor and take everybody I love, everything. Everybody is gone because of you. You're the criminal. But that'll piss you off. But the thing is, if I have motive to kill anyone, it's you. And you're fine. I've said, if you get near me, I'll beat the fuck out of you. But if you want to threaten me, do it to my face. But don't get near me. Wear a football helmet, a vag cup, because I don't believe you're a guy. I don't know what the hell you are. And yell it across the parking lot. But do it to my face. Just don't get close enough where I would beat the hell out of you, because I will beat the hell out of you. So it's not like you don't have a warning, you dumb fuck. So if I have once you're dead, I don't have to deal with this crap anymore, right? So isn't that motive to kill you? And yet you're fine. You're absolutely fine. Not a hair on your head is hurt. Because that's not my thing. That is absolutely not my thing. And you know that. If these guys are telling me everything you just said, like that conversation you just had today, I don't have a motive, Charles. Well, she has a temper. Where, when, how? Where's the temper? I'm not seeing it. I have nobody that tells me she's got a temper, that she's been around on a regular basis. 2 girls that I work with at that strip club, 2 of them, they're on fucking, I don't know what, crack or something. One of them, I'm sitting on a guy's lap. She's sitting on a guy's lap in front of me. He said something funny. I'm laughing at what he said. She jumps up, runs over to me. Don't you fucking laugh at me again. And I'm like, oh my God, I wasn't laughing at you. Whack job. She's on fucking crack. You know, the next day she didn't remember that even happened. Those girls some of them are on shit. So, well, that's the one that did the $1,500 stage tips. You know, 15. She didn't even fucking dance. She'd get up there and walk around the pole. We got to get off the stage with $1,500, and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's not stage money, that's drug money. So she got arrested. She went to drug court, and she's doing a whole lot better now. Actually, I think she doesn't even live here anymore. I think she moved to a different state. She's just trying to get away from the whole deal. Anyways, it helped her actually to get arrested and get off the drugs. But she comes up and she's gonna beat the hell out of me and blah blah blah, and screaming and yelling at me. And I looked at her and I didn't scream and yell back. I didn't punch her in the face. I didn't do anything. I said, listen, here's what's going to happen. If I don't have anything to prove. I know you girls sometimes like fighting with each other so you can prove who's tougher. I don't have that need. I'm not 12. I'm not 20. I'm 50. What you're going to do is you're going to hit me. I'm going to call 911, and you're going to go to jail for assault, okay? And she turned around and walked off, and never did I have a problem with her ever again. Never again did she do that. And then another girl, so clearly she remembered some of it, but the next day she was like, I don't remember that happening. Then the next, a couple of months later, another girl did the same thing. It was about something else. We were arguing about something. I don't remember what it was now. And everybody was kind of looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with her? She didn't even make sense. And I looked at her and I go, I'm not gonna argue with you because I don't think you're like, I don't know what you took tonight, but you're not making sense. So I walked off. She followed me to the dressing room, and I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you, and I'm gonna do this, and I was like, same thing. Here's the thing, Candy, I'm gonna let you hit me. Go ahead and hit me. Then I'm gonna call 911, and I'm gonna file assault charges against you, and you're going to jail. I'm not gonna hit you back. Now, does that sound like I got a temper? No. She walked off. That's exactly how I said it to her. That's exactly how she's provoking. She's going to hit me. She's threatening me. She's getting in my face. She's come right up to me. She's pulling her arm back. And I'm like, here's what I'm going to do. You're going to hit me. And then you're going to go to jail. Oh, okay. And then walked off. And that was it. Never had another problem with her either. So, Mr. Perry, tell people, show people, prove to people, where's the temper? Other than screaming at you like this.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please,
what
God
happened?
bless you, but
What
please leave
happened?
me
What
alone.
steps?
Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
Does she have a temper? I don't think she does. I think she feels like she's being raped. She's screaming at a man who's forcing himself on her against her will. Like a rape. Stay away from me. Get away from me. Just like I do to you. When you're dead, all this is over. There's no more trauma. There's no more drama. There's no more problems. There's no more everything's a thing and everything's an ordeal and I gotta go without food. Deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce. Interference with commerce with intent to coerce, sometimes interstate. Interference with contracts with intent to coerce. And grand larceny with intent to coerce. They're gonna get you on all of that. But you can find out yourself. Wait till they arrest you. You like picking on girls? Does that make you feel tough? Princess? Yeah, you're not a man. I don't know what the fuck you are. You're a monster. I don't date girls. I'm not lesbian. And I don't date monsters. I don't date men who are princesses and have to, my mommy humiliated me, so now I'm gonna pick on women so I feel tough. Not my thing. Not my thing. I've gone out with a lot of guys. I've fucked a lot of guys. But guess what? They didn't do what you do. They didn't act like you. They made sure I didn't miss a meal. They made sure I was doing good. Even if it was supporting my career. So, it'll never be you. It's absolutely not going to be you. So we get that today. He's talking to somebody. A cop, it sounded like. I don't have a motive, Charles. I got hairs, I got fibers, blah, blah, blah. Because you planted them. Because I don't know where the crime scene was. I guess Richard said I can't put her at the crime scene ever. I can't put her there. She doesn't have any friends. You ran her friends off. It's not like I could go to her friends and say, was there ever a time you were at XYZ place? Because you ran her friends off. Stalker. You're trying to isolate her. So she doesn't have any friends for me to go to say, yeah, at this, she's been to that location. I can't even put her there. And, it's just a public defender. You don't need to know that. Well, yeah, have you met her? She'll think of it. A public defender might not think of it, but she will. So all this time we've been talking about this, Mr. Perry, your little frame up. There's a whole file in my Dropbox on your frame up. Look at that. All day long. You worked on that. All fucking day long. Didn't you? Worked on your frame up. Guess what else we set up today? That. Perry's got his traffic daddy in Houston he sold me to. He's got half up front and he wants the other half. This is about money, isn't it? Right? So everything related to that went in here today too. Bunch of people have it, Charles. Bunch of people have seen it. So when you do it, I told you so. I did say. So once again, I'm taking the weight back off because I've been eating all week. If I go work back at the club, I was supposed to go this weekend, and they were gonna have me arrested for what? The murder or something else, and make an example out of me for the other girls in there that are being trafficked too. They've been trafficked, and they're being used to sell drugs and prostitute. Right? Isn't that what Oklahoma City Police said traffickers do? Take their personal documents. It says, let's look, Mr. Perry. Let's see what it says. The witness statement is in here somewhere. Let's just take a look real quick at what you've done. You don't have a date. Nobody's in love with you. For 13 years, you've been caught. Here's the witness statement. Look at that. I think this takes longer to load. So when I'm door dashing, what they would do is jam up my DoorDash app so I can't get orders that are worth a shit. They'll let the ones come through that are like, drive 11 miles and you get $3. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Or nothing. Right? So you should be able to make, my guy says 100 to 150 a day door dashing for 8 hours. And I was making 60 maybe if they thought I was doing what they wanted. There's this. I mean, there's all this stuff, Mr. Perry, that we've documented. And who has the actual recordings? Nobody will tell you that. Is it a U.S. Senator helping you? Is it LAPD? Is it NYPD? Is it El Paso PD? Is it your mom and dad? Is it FBI? Who's helping you? You mean who told on your crime? This is a confession, right? You just want to know how I found out? Okay. Yeah, this is gonna take longer than it should. I can get it another way. Hang on. Alright, so I sent this out today because I've been eating all week. He wants me to lie. So everybody, here's the lie. He wants to be governor. Please do vote for him as governor. Because I'm not going to be allowed to eat until I lie. So here's the lie. Okay? So that went out to everybody. Mr. Perry, this went out to the media. Here's the lie. He wants me to lie. The guy says he won't let these women get a job. What he'll do is he hacks them. He spoofs the website. You think you're applying at Walgreens. You're not. You're filling out a form on his spoofed site. Walgreens never sees it. Target never sees it. Quick Trip never sees it. Walmart never sees it. Sam's Club never sees it. Best Buy never sees it. Whoever it is you're trying to get a job with. Or if it's like a more independent company, then he'll call them, tell them don't hire her. They don't get a job. The victims do not get work. You try to DoorDash, you might have some control over that, except he hacked it. No orders come through that aren't his people. Somebody got mad about it. She wanted to do right. She wanted to write, right? But you guys called Upworks and Amazon and told them to make sure she didn't get work. So she didn't get work. But you know what? Had she done that, they want me to find out how information's going from, other than a phone, how is it going from them to her? They want me to do that. They've hired me to do that. I can't. Because here's the thing. She wanted to write after she quit working at the club. At the club, she could talk to anybody about anything. Any guy you send in there could tell her anything, and you wouldn't know it. Anybody you hire to go in and buy dances from her, or not buy, or don't buy dances from her, they can go in there and tell her anything. So there's one way. Another way is that if she's at home writing, her interactions with other people are going to be very limited. She's going to go to the grocery. So that might be one, and then I can see who she's talked to when she's at the grocery or whatever. Or she's gonna go to the gym, and I can see who she's talking to at the gym. So I'm gonna say it's limited to about 5 people a day. Otherwise, she's at home writing, making money writing. That's what she wanted to do. But you guys will let her do that. You wanted her to DoorDash. So she's in and out of restaurants. She's in and, taking food to your people that you're blocking all the other orders. The only orders you'll let her get is your people. Okay, well, your people could tell her anything. She's interacting with all kinds of people. I can't pin anything down anywhere. There's no way. It's like a needle in a haystack. So, I can't help you. I can't help you. And I thought that was funny as hell. I literally haven't eaten all week. Literally have no food. So our guys are going to get you on deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce and interfering with commerce. Because I could be working somewhere. Except you've interfered with that. Because you want me to lie. So this email went out, Mr. Perry. All the media got it. I can't eat. I'm not allowed to eat. He won't let me eat until I lie. So, please vote for him. He's a really nice guy. There. I'm hungry. I want to eat. There's your lie. Okay? I mean, that's what you wanted, right? You wanted me to tell everybody that you're just a great guy. Vote for you for governor. Right? There it is. Okay? If I want to eat, I gotta lie, right? So I want to eat. So there's your lie. Everybody got that. So here's the thing earlier today of, what's the motive? Well, she's got a temper. Well, when and where have we seen that temper? I mean, she's working in a strip club. I'm not seeing her hit people. I'm not seeing her throw things. Where's the temper? I'm not seeing her scream and yell. I see her do everything she can to avoid a fight. And I do. You had the waitress going at me pretty hard. Here's what happened. The waitress fucking is nuttier than a fruitcake. She's as bad as you are. And she's on meth. She's said she's on meth. You can tell. So there was an all-out knock-down, drag-out between me and her. Went into waitress. And instead of letting me waitress, I worked there. She calls a person that doesn't work there and has them go in. So now I'm out a night of work. That's what you guys told her to do. Make sure she doesn't make any money. She did what you told her. The owner backed her up. Barely knows the girl. I don't do drugs. She does the drugs. Money's never missing when I do the waitressing. It's missing when she does the waitressing. So did you talk to him about it too? Why the fuck would he do that? Why did he? I was hurt. I couldn't believe it. The next night, I'm off. I got homework to do. I went in a room in the back where nobody ever goes. And I'm sitting there doing my homework. And here she comes in. I got a paint in here tonight. Tonight, of all nights, you got a paint in here? You can't do it tomorrow night, or you couldn't have done it last night. You got to do it tonight, huh? You're coming where I am? You're shitting me with that, right? I could not believe it. I was like, I'm doing everything I can to avoid you. I don't want to fight with you. I don't like drama. I don't like problems. And so I came in here to not have to interact with you at all. And what do? You come where I am to force an interaction between me and you. And this is a very bad idea. So I had to move again, go to a different room to avoid a fight. Where's the temper? Where's the temper, princess? Why don't you go cause problems in your own family instead of coming up to Oklahoma and doing that to people who don't like you? Nobody invited you to Oklahoma, Mr. Perry. Every time you cause a problem for me, we get what you just said. Every day I'm broke, we get what you just said. It's like you like getting caught because you've got nothing else out of all this but caught. And never before in your life has that happened. It happens when you do it to me. It has happened every day for a decade. Every time you talk about doing something to my car, every time you talk about taking my car, every time you talk about causing a problem, every time you talk about taking my money, all of a sudden everything you guys said is, we get it before. See, I'm not sitting in jail accused of murder. This is not an afterthought to explain something away. The police got you talking about it. The police that care about me, not Oklahoma police. They're from somewhere else. They know a hell of a lot more about all what you've done than anybody in Oklahoma Police Department anywhere. because they're doing the work. They're helping the victims. They're stopping the suffering caused by your crime. And no, in spite of Oklahoma police, I guess, right, Captain Gimpy? So, we got that. Where's the temper, Charles? There's some cops here that have been very good to try to make it not as bad as it would have been if they weren't there. Thing is, he's not in jail and he should be, and you know that. Second of all, if I say thank you, you're gonna end up like Lucky and Mike? Because I can't single out one or two guys. If you're gonna get him, you all have to get him, and you know that. If you're not gonna get him, then, none of you get him, and my guys will do it. Then you're gonna have to explain why the fuck he sat on your ass and let him do all this shit for so long in Oklahoma. So this is the conversation. Look at the date on that. February 15th, 2022. My professor's talking to somebody at TPD. So he's like, well, she's very articulate, and blah, blah, blah. She won't cooperate with us. We wanted a heel and toe shoe print. She won't give us one. Well, here's the thing. It looks to me like you are harassing her. Because it sounds to me like you've already ruled her out. You've already excluded her. If you have to alter evidence and make somebody dye their hair and get a tan. The other girl's quite a bit heavy. I'm going to quote about 10 witnesses. This girl that did it, the one we saw do the crime, is quite a bit heavier than Cynthia. Now, because I got to eat a little bit of food finally, I got a little bit chubby, so maybe that closed that gap just a tad. But now again, I haven't eaten all week. Not all week. Barely. You try living on tuna once a day, and a little bit of cheese and a cucumber once a day, all at one time a day, for a week. Yeah, you couldn't do it. You're fat and lazy. So we got all this. Looks like you've excluded her. What the fuck are you wasting your time for? That's how long they've been trying to do this. Right? So I'm saying it before, not after. The police that are investigating Charles Perry, David Robertson, Calvin Geppetto, Lucius, Matt, Josh, Joe, and there's probably all kinds of wiretaps all over the place on all y'all. They gave that to me. You know why they gave that to me? Because they knew you're trying to frame me for something I didn't do. Richard, you too. Look at that. Made sure my attorney got it. Okay, where is the temper? Where's the temper, you lying piece of shit? Let's see, what else? Okay, so we did this also. Because you did frame Mike Neely for a murder he didn't do. There we go. So we put all that together. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. I've already been through the whole thing. It does have the medical examiner's statement in here somewhere. Yeah, whatever. Him and his hypothesis. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we get more. He said twice, and he only says it once. Her privacy is not to be invaded anymore. You do not contact her at all. And she's not to be broke anymore. Or have to ask for money. Period. And as much as you get caught, you got caught again today. It speaks to your delusion that you think you have a choice. You don't have a choice. You dumb son of a bitch. So that's lucky. I'm going back here to where the medical examiner. Hang on. Here it is. It's where news, whatever. The medical examiner said Miller was internally decapitated, which would require the same force one would face in a car crash. He was hit back and forth, so hard his head was decapitated from the rest of his body internally. So we got, he looks like this though. A little hard to explain how he could make that kind of damage and his hands have nothing on them. Not a fucking thing. Not a mark on the guy. He was unconscious and in respiratory distress and dying of opioid overdose. So how the hell would he do that in that condition and end up with not a mark on him? Mr. Perry, do not contact me anymore. Nobody cares what you think. Nobody asked you. Will you please shut up? Will you please shut up? Please don't contact me again. Shut up. The guy has a lot of nerve. Isn't Mike talking? Does he know something to tell, Charles? What did you tell Mike Neely that he would talk? Right now? Don't contact me again. You got a lot of nerve to even ask me. I haven't eaten all week. That's your fault. If you go to work, he's going to have you false arrested. They want to jerk you off the stage, making an example out of you so the other girls they think might be leaking learn a lesson and get in line, right? And they want to shut you up. So you can't go to work at the club. You try to DoorDash, they're going to jam up your app so you can't DoorDash. Same old. Either way, he's going to starve you until you lie. While he figures out how to frame you for a murder to lock you up to keep you quiet. Because you're the only one in his whole entire life who's caught the crime. Right? Like this one. That's me Sherlocking this case. I have help. But I'm pretty good at it by myself, Mr. Perry. If I'm sitting there watching, 14 grand being thrown on the stage. Wow. I've never seen anybody get tipped that much. 14 grand, huh? Okay. And then everybody leaves real quick with the customer that threw it. That's not fishy. That's not fishy at all. So then I'm asking my guys, what the hell's that all about? And they check. And if they can find out what you're doing, they sure as shit can find out what a bunch of little girls are doing. For who and what and why. Tulsa's not doing it. My guys are doing it. So you want to scare them. You want to coerce. You want to intimidate. You want to be a bitch. Pick on little girls and women and children to feel tough. Because your mommy humiliated you. We don't care. Who fucking who? So, this is what, gonna get her car. We're gonna take her car. We gotta get her car. Let's ruin her car. Right, Calvin? Yesterday all fucking day. You know why we got that? Because when my privacy's invaded, and when Mr. Perry contacts me, asking, who told? Who is it? Is it a senator? Is it Mike? You got a lot of nerve to ask me for help, you bitch. That's not what he said, is it? You can't understand what people say, can you? Huntington's disease, paranoia, delusion, psychosis, hallucinations, and impaired cognitive reasoning. When you do the crime, you get caught. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. Cause and effect. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. Every time you do a crime to me, you get caught every day. For 13 years. Right? What day is he going to be done and arrest all of you? And we're fucking don't have to deal with this anymore. Because that's what everybody wants. That's why we can get information and you cannot. Cause and effect. Same and different. Before and after. Yeah. Okay. So, meantime, I gotta starve. That's my choice. You can lie or you can starve. So I did your life for you, Mr. Perry. You got it. You got what you wanted. Now, can I eat, please? Is it okay if I eat, sir? Finally, do you think after a week of starving to death, and I sent out, the email that you wanted, can I eat now, please? Please let me eat. It's still not as bad as what Lucky and Mike. It's not.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
Leave me
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Stepdad's been raping you since
Leave
you were
me
12 years
alone.
old?
Please leave. I don't. Stop stalking me.
That's a temper.
Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I'm
No,
here.
just talk to
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you.
What
I don't ever
happens-
want to hear your voice to you. Please,
what
God
happened-
bless you, but
what
please leave
happened?
me
What
alone.
steps-
Please leave me alone. Stop going.
All right, so officer whoever asked him, I don't have a motive. What's the motive? Well, she has a temper. This is my temper, sir. Screaming and yelling at a guy who's trying to frame me for a murder to get away from me and get the fuck out of my life. That's my temper.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I'm here.
Just talk
Leave
to
me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you.
What
I don't ever
happens-
want to hear your voice to you. Please,
what
God
happened-
bless you, but
what
please leave
happened?
me
What
alone.
steps-
Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't.
About
Stop
that.
stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I'm here.
Just talk to
Leave me alone.
I will.